Let's create your online course and leverage a strategy to actually start making sales and getting paid before your course is even ready to go. So timestamps below, along with some other helpful links and resources, including a copy of our Course Creators Playbook that walks you through this entire process and actually helps with some ideas. Now, if you're like most creators, you already have an idea for a course, or maybe you've already started creating one and you've got this master plan for this like 5 or 7 module course and it's gonna sell for $997 or just under $2,000 like you've seen other course creators do. And you definitely don't want to do that because you don't want to be in a position I've been in and lots of other creators where you spend months creating this awesome course and then nobody buys it. And you're sitting there wondering why. Like you've done everything else that you've seen other people do, and for some reason, it's just not selling. So instead, we're going to follow the strategy to gradually create our course and validate our ideas while we're actually making sales. So we're going to start by choosing a big result our ideal customer wants, and we're going to create a 30, 60, or 90-day workshop in order to help them achieve those results. We'll have 5 modules. Each module will be only an hour or 2, but don't make this workshop yet. We're going to do one step first. So while you are outlining this workshop and coming up with 30, 60, 90 days to blank, fill in the blank with whatever your ideal customer really wants to achieve, you're going to want to come up with some worksheet, template, script, calculator, tracker, planner, essentially download ideas for each one of these modules. So come up with at least 2 per module. So you're going to have your 30, 60, 90-day workshop to achieve a specific result. We'll get to what that result might be in a moment. And then you have some download ideas. So here's the key. Instead of creating that workshop, create the downloads first. Because these downloads you can either offer for free as a lead magnet to grow your email list and validate your idea, or you can actually start selling them. So here's an example of how we've actually applied this strategy. This is our Google Ads campaign builder. It sells for about 25 bucks, and we have a bunch of tutorials here on the side that shows people how to use this tool. And it's a simple spreadsheet that allows people to take all of their campaign information and their keywords and quickly import it into Google Ads. And there's quite a bit of tabs here to help them with different campaign types and just save a lot of time and energy when it comes to actually creating Google Ads. And so creating a tool like this took way less time than creating a full-blown course. We're already starting to make some sales selling this, and we can actually include this in a larger Google Ads course when we get around to making it, aka when I actually have time to make it. But what's awesome is while I work on that in the background, this tool, which is just gonna be a download in that $1,000 course, is already making sales, and I'm already getting feedback, and it's already being validated. And what you can do here, if I come to our dashboard, we also have the Google Ads Copywriter. So this is actually a module that's going to be inside of our larger inside of our larger Google Ads course. But I went ahead and created this module and sold it as a standalone workshop. And it sells for about 100 bucks right now, and it's already making money. So we have 2 pieces of a larger Google Ads course already selling, already getting customer feedback. You can even try and get some testimonials as well before the course is even live. And so you have a lot of opportunity to actually piecemeal your course and workshops together in this way so you can get customer feedback and you can actually start making sales. Now, if you already know what your course is going to be about and who you're selling to, then here's the timestamp to jump straight into structuring and outlining your course. Otherwise, you want to go through this quick little exercise to identify the gap. Now, what is the gap? Your ideal customer is in position A and they need to get to position B. And our course is going to be the bridge that gets them there. It's going to be all the tactics, methods, strategies, information they need to go from where they are to ultimately where they want to be. And so you can use this simple exercise to figure out what your course could ultimately be about and what you can put into your course to make it more valuable than some of the other courses out there. And this simple exercise is in our Course Creator Playbook that you can download via the link in the description and follow along. So the first thing you want to do is just list out all of your skills and then give a quick description of what these skills are. And then you're going to look at your own life and say, what results have I achieved as a result of having these skills? And then the next column, just choose 3 and brainstorm something that was really difficult in achieving the result that you just listed out. And then the next column, we're going to talk about, okay, well, you overcame these roadblocks, you achieved this result. How was your life different? And then we want to look at how did you overcome this roadblock versus what you might have seen in other courses, videos, or blog posts. And then the final column, you're going to really talk about how this impacted your overall life. Now, going through this simple chart, you can always pause and read my answers if you'd like. This is just for example purposes. Obviously, copying it's not going to help. But when you go through this, you're going to be able to find unique places in your own life, in your own journey, where you've come up with strategies and achieve results that other people want. And that's where you can start for creating your workshop. Now, to help you save time with outlining and structuring your course and organizing all the information and awesome things you have to teach your future students, here's a simple outline you can follow for your own 5-module workshop. So module 1 is going to be all about the preparation and the basics. So this is going to be where you include that information that they need in order to be successful. Now, a huge trap here is adding a bunch of anecdotal information people don't care about or they probably already know. And by the way, it's totally okay to link to other content if it's basic information, because people didn't join your course for the basics. They joined your course for your unique strategy, method, tactics, insider information that they're not going to find elsewhere. So don't spend 3 hours of their time going through a bunch of basics that they might already know, or they could find that you could reference for free. And so here, you're gonna have that basic minimum information they need to be successful and move on to taking action. And then of course, any sort of self-assessments or inventory. I'll actually go through a live example of one of our courses and how this actually plays out. Then module number 2 is going to be the research and planning phase. So this is going to be, they have the basics down, they've done their self-assessment, they have an honest view of where they currently are before they're trying to jump over that gap and get to where they want to be. And so this is going to be where we help them plan out their plan of action. And so these first 2 modules are just preparation, right? Then we get into module 3. This is where the rubber meets the road. You explain your unique system, method, strategy, tactics in detail. You hold nothing back. Of course, the last thing we want is people asking for refunds because they can tell that you tried to hold something back because you wanted them to like purchase another product, use a software, or upgrade to some higher level mastermind, which a lot of courses do, and it's just going to piss people off. So don't do that. And then module number 4 can be any of the advanced tactics or strategies and additional tips that didn't make it into the core process. Because what we want to do in module 3 is run through our core process as quickly and efficiently as possible so people can watch the videos or read your content, although you really should use video for your courses, and then go take action, right? Because if we inundate them with hours upon hours of all of this information, they're going to get overwhelmed, they're not going to take action, they're not going to give you testimonials, and they're certainly not going to buy your next product or service because they haven't gotten results yet. They're just going to remember, oh, I haven't even finished the last one this person sold me. Like, so why would I buy this new one as opposed to, well, I didn't make it through the last one, but I at least got started, right? So we want to make sure this is all action-based. And then the final module is kind of where we transition them from everything they just learned to whatever the next step is. And of course, helping them look at whatever results they've achieved and how to make pivots and improve in the future. So again, this is kind of an oversimplification, but this is a way to help you organize the information and make sure there's a logical flow to everything so that by the end of it, someone is actually, hopefully, taking action on your course and getting the results that they want. So just as a quick example, one of the newest courses we created, which I don't think is actually sold anything yet because we're still working on it, but we'll go into our video sales letter copywriter. So this teaches people how to make video sales letters to sell courses like the one we're creating, right? So the first module is walks through how to come up with a customer avatar, right? So this is the foundational self-assessment type thing where they need to do some self-assessment and look inward to figure out what they ultimately want to do, right? Because we need people to have a clear picture of where they are and where they want to go. In this particular instance, it's who on earth are you going to sell to, right? Then in our second module, we actually have the swipe file. I actually broke up the first two modules. So we'll say these two are one module together. Then we have the swipe file where they actually start going through and they externally look out. They do some research, they collect some information that they're going to need before they go and make their webinar or their video sales letter. So we do internal self-assessment, then we do external research. We take all that information, we say, okay, you got all of it. So now it's time to actually start take action. And of course, this would be module 3, and this is going to be where they actually start writing out their sales letter. Of course, this might be different for your product or service. This is just how these modules might actually play out. And because there's a lot to it, it's okay if you wind up splitting them into more than 5 modules. I just happen to like 5, and we wound up having a little too much content for just 5. So once they've done that core process of writing, then we go into some advanced things of how to actually come up with the slides for the sales letter. So this would be module 4. And then of course, finally, we go through taking all that information and actually applying it when it comes to actually recording. And so you can see how this somewhat follows the format. Of course, it's not always going to be exact, but just use this as a guide. And once you have your course outline or you've written out a script for your entire course like I like to do, it's time to talk equipment. So here's all the equipment and gear you would ever need to create a course. I don't recommend showing your face because it's just going to make your course look dated and it's going to age a lot faster than you want. So when it comes to creating your actual videos, PowerPoint, Google Slides, or what's the back one, Keynote, is more than enough. In fact, all of the graphics you're seeing here were made in Google Slides. Like, you don't need to be super fancy. People care about the information, and just put a little bit of effort into your slides, right? And then you're good to go. In terms of recording your screen, for Windows, you can use Camtasia. For Mac, you can use ScreenFlow. I currently have a Mac and I use Camtasia, and I wish I was using ScreenFlow because ScreenFlow on Mac automatically updates. So we're like on M1 chips now, and Camtasia is just not working properly. So don't fall into that trap. And then when it comes to a microphone, you can use a lav like what you're hearing right now, or you can go ahead and spend $300 or $400 on a really nice Shure microphone. But for the most part, as long as your audio is clear and clean and your slides look presentable and professional, you are good to go. You don't need to spend money on a future. Oh boy, you don't need to spend money on a fancy setup. So now let's talk about the last part, which is where on earth are we going to put our course, right? Well, you definitely don't want to put it on a place like Udemy because you're probably not going to make very much in there. Overly super controlling. So we have 2 options. The first one is going to be the example I've been showing you here, and this is Thrivecart. Now, what I like about Thrivecart is when you purchase Thrivecart, you can also purchase Learn, which is this members area, and it's a one-time fee. It's going to cost you about $900 by the time you're done, and that's a lot to invest up front, but you only pay it one time. So if you're really serious about your online course business, I highly recommend checking out Thrivecart. I'll leave a link to it in the description. If you do decide to upgrade, we receive a commission as a way to support this channel. Or if you're not quite ready to make that upfront investment, then you can go ahead and check out a service like Systemi.io that actually allows you to set up an entire sales process and a membership site for free, and then the most expensive it's ever going to get is $97 a month. And the advantage of that is you don't have to spend the upfront investment like you do with Thrivecart, and of course you can scale up your costs over time as your business grows. So I'll leave a link to both of those in the description. We've used both of them for ourselves and clients. I just like Thrivecart because we paid one time and it's been years, and you just, over the long run, you save so much more money. Although if you're just getting started, it might not make sense to drop $1,000 on software when you're still figuring all of this out. So if you do decide to purchase either of those, we do receive a commission as a way to support this channel. So hopefully you have a much better picture of how to create your online course, outline it, the minimal amount of technology you need in terms of platforms and tools. So go ahead and comment below if you have any questions. Go ahead and also download that Course Creators Playbook that goes through this entire strategy, even includes some more details on how to come up with different download and digital product ideas so you actually start making sales and validating your offer before your course is all done. So hit that like button, subscribe for more guides just like this one, and until the next, keep building the business you love.